Ah, baby. We're back with a little bit of not exactly what I would say my best Spider-Man experience. I'll be completely honest with you guys. So, we're talking about Spider-Man 3 coming out in 2000, I believe, 7. And wow, was it the only Spider-Man that I kind of didn't have much memory of, right? I didn't have a whole lot of memories of this movie simply because I think I probably like subconsciously didn't want to remember it because there were so many things that were so off about it, and I kind of understand why so many people kind of were set off about this one. Whereas I enjoyed the first one, second one, and remembered them entirely through, the third one felt like a totally new experience while also feeling very familiar, not in a good way. So go ahead and get yourself strapped in a little oxen because we're going to talk a little bit about it. Go ahead and set that beautiful like button ablaze for me and subscribe and join the Zebra gang. The Spider-Man 3 movie, I watched with my fiance. We both very much enjoyed the first two. And even Kat was saying, yeah, she remembered the entire thing, but she also kind of remembered a lot of the things. So whereas in the first two it was very distinguished, like villains, one specific villain, one specific evil entity, in Spider-Man 3 there were multiple, like a lot. And I can't really say that that was necessarily the bad part about it. It was more so a lot of the visuals and random kind of, hey, here's an action scene type deal. It felt like throughout the movie they just decided, hey, Spider-Man hasn't fought somebody in about 5 minutes. Let's have him fight somebody. And one of the weirdest things about it is it felt like they also took every fight scene that they did have, which is about like 4-ish, I believe, 4-ish, 5 throughout the entire movie, which is kind of a lot considering in the first two, I believe there was only like 3 main sections of fighting, and they were pretty short and pretty straight to the point. Whereas the very first fight of this movie takes so goddamn long. He fights Harry Osborn as Green Lantern, who just recently took the serum to try to get vengeance and everything for his dad and everything. Cool, fine and dandy, but the fight lasts for a very long time, and eventually it very much came. It just felt very dragged on. And that's kind of how I felt about most of the fights. The only fight that kind of was like, okay, cool beans, was when he ends up with the symbiote on him, and he goes and catches Sandman and fights him again for, I believe, the second time, and he technically beats him. Another problem is some of the CGI is a little wonky in this. That's another reason why I didn't understand why they had so many goddamn fights, because I believe this is the movie that Marvel started to, or Sony or Disney, whatever, Marvel superhero movies started to try and utilize a lot of CGI to kind of take the place of the actor for a lot of the action scenes, because boy could you tell. A lot of the things that Peter ends up going through just feels it felt super forced. I don't want to like dump on it, and then the ending was fucking garbage because Mary Jane just ends up deciding, hey, I want to be with you again. But like literally just like 2-3 days earlier, he backhanded you. Yeah, it was on accident, but he backhanded you. That's not something that's easily forgotten. And the day or a few days or whatever before that, he cheated on you with Gwen Stacy and then paraded Gwen in front of you to embarrass you and showcase that, yeah, he's moved on and everything. It was weird. It was weird. Also, I very much hated the representation of Venom in this movie. And like I said in Spider-Man 2's talk, this nigga does not know how to fight. How have you been Spider-Man for this long and you have not learned how to fight at all? And in this movie is also more showcasing of, I could not have these powers because I would have kicked so many of the people's asses in this movie, because so many people were just being shitheads to him. I would, bitch, you know, I would have been like, do you know? Like, he started to try and show it a little bit. He did. I can't even lie. He did start trying to kind of let it out that, you know, yeah, I'm not one to be fucked with, but not enough. Not nearly enough. That not nearly as much as I would have. But that's why he has the powers and I don't. What else? I loved that Sandman kind of wasn't necessarily a villain through it. It was more so after, you know, protecting his and saving his daughter. That was cute. They should have focused on just Sandman, to be honest, because throwing Venom in there just felt not needed, especially since he was horrible as Venom. And the visuals, I just wasn't there for Venom, because he just looked like it looked like they copied and pasted the black Spider-Man suit for Venom, made a few small little changes, and that was it. Added some teeth, and that was it. Because he wasn't the big nigga hulking Venom. He was just normal looking dude Venom. And I remember even as a kid, I was just like, eh. And then he also wins by technicality for this fight as well. Because guess what? He technically doesn't really beat Harry Osborn as Green Goblin. He doesn't beat Sandman because he lets Sandman go. And he doesn't necessarily beat Venom either. I have to say, I'm hoping that when I rewatch the Amazing Spider-Man movies, I'm hoping he actually beats the villains, because I'm tired of this half-ass bullshit. Even though I can say that the first two Spider-Man movies are probably my favorite, 100%. I think as Spider-Man, like story-wise, I guess, and like conclusion-wise, I think that the Amazing Spider-Man might possibly do it better. I also didn't like that they just happened to end up together, Mary Jane and Peter Parker. And that's just how it ended. It's like they were just like, we're running out of time, wrap it up. They're together. That's it. Like, what? Okay, dude. Okay, dude. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't necessarily supremely as bad as a lot of people try to make it seem. It really wasn't. But what do you guys think? Let me know. What do you guys think of Spider-Man 3 from 2007, I believe is the year? Let me know. And that's all that I got for you. TheZebra, the best on YouTube. Signing the fuck off. Have yourselves a nice rest of your day and a nice juicy, a chickadee, a goddamn. Ciao, my friends. Oh boy. On to the Andrew Garfield movies, are we?